just kind of worked extremely hard. Went to Denver Hospital, to Craig Hospital in Denver, which is one of the leading like rehabilitation hospitals in the U.S. for spinal cord injury, and I just worked to get as much function back as possible. And really kind of from the time that I left until now, things have been relatively the same. I've gone kind of up and down health-wise, but I'm just very thankful. I was just reading a magazine about someone with I have a C5-6 injury, and if you have a C4 or 5 injury, you can barely even move your arms. You have to kind of use almost like a sip and puff wheelchair, a big power chair. I'm so thankful for what I do have, and really what this kind of talk, if you get anything out of it, is use everything that God has given you at your disposal to further His kingdom, and that's kind of the message that He started to put in my heart. And so when I got out of the hospital, I just had to kind of get back into life. And one of the first things that I wanted to do was, I didn't want to be dependent on my parents for my whole life, and so I started a small business, and did that for 7 years. It was kind of an art education business that it's called Meet the Masters. Some of you may know that name because it's in a lot of Orange County public and private schools. And thankfully, Carrie stayed with me, and we got married 7 years after the injury.
7 years after we started dating.
7 years after we started dating, and 5 years after.
Yeah.
Something like 5 years after the injury. And so got married, and just kind of tried to keep getting just back into regular life, but really one of the biggest challenges that I had through all of this was never ending from the moment that my injury happened until this moment, 12 plus years later. Pain. You would think that with an injury, if you kind of lose most of your function and feeling, you wouldn't have to deal with pain. But because of the mixed signals that kind of happen between the legs and the brain, a lot of just normal sensation is interpreted as pain. And so I have had to battle that, and I think Carrie and I will both attest to the fact that the pain has been more difficult to deal with than the injury itself, which sounds almost impossible, but it really has. And just all the meds that I've had to be on, and side effects of all those. And I'm happy to say that for only really the second time in 12 years, I'm completely off all oral pain meds. I still kind of have a patch that I'm trying to wean off, but that's going in the right direction. And so what I found was that I was spending all this time on a business and on trying to make money, and I had so few hours in the day where I really felt good, that they were all going towards my business and not towards my marriage, and not towards friendships, and not towards having fun. And I just kind of left feeling unfulfilled, and from my business experience, even though it was a great transition for me to kind of have a business where I could work from home and have a few employees and learn how to kind of manage people and whatnot. But this is kind of where the story starts to transfer to what's relevant here today. So I basically, on faith, sold my business to someone else and started praying for what I was going to do next. And during that time, my parents were taking a trip to Africa. And basically I said, I really want to go with you. And so Carrie and I ended up going with them. This is a year before Jack was born, so about 3 years ago. And went to South Africa, to Zambia, Victoria Falls, and did a couple of amazing safaris and saw some incredible things. I wish, I guess, if I had the heart now, the heart then that I have now, I would have been able to do some more like projects within the community and outreach and whatnot. But I was able to really. There's a lot of people serving us in these super nice places, that my parents wanted to stay at, and it felt uncomfortable almost, like nicer than I stay at in the United States even. And there's all these people that were serving us, and I really got to know, quite a few of these people, and just fell in love with both the land of Africa, the adventure that I was able to go on with these safaris. I felt kind of alive again, for the first time, and connected, with these people, like our trackers on the safaris, and I mean the things that I had to go through in order to get on these tiny little planes, and it was crazy. But the people that helped me out, carrying me up and down ladders. I think we went on 14 plane rides. It was insane. I mean, I could not. I was like, Mom, who put together this idea? Like, are you kidding me? Or did you know my situation? And so, but it ended up being a wonderful experience, and really from that time, God was doing a work